the 11 psychological weaknesses that every woman has, and how to use them to your advantage. Unlocking the secrets of attraction. Have you ever wondered why some men effortlessly capture a woman's attention while others struggle to keep a conversation going? What if I told you there are 9 psychological weaknesses hardwired into every woman's mind? 9 vulnerabilities that, if understood and applied correctly, will make her think about you, crave your presence, and feel an undeniable attraction toward you. This is not just another generic list of dating advice. I'm not here to simply give you these 9 points and send you on your way. No, I will walk you through exactly how to use them to your advantage, how to embed them into your personality naturally, and how to transform yourself into the kind of man women can't resist. So listen carefully, pay attention to every word. Because once you understand these 9 psychological triggers, you'll see how attraction works on a whole new level. 1. The power of contrasting personalities. One of the biggest mistakes men make is being predictable. If a woman can categorize you too easily, if she can say, oh, he's just a nice guy, or he's just the strong, silent type, you lose your edge. The secret? You need to have 2 contrasting personalities. Think about it. If your personality is mostly kind and gentle, you also need a dark, mysterious, mischievous side. If you're usually strong, calm, and composed, you need moments where you're spontaneous and unpredictable. Imagine this scenario. You and a woman are walking down the street. You're exuding confidence, radiating strength. Suddenly, a song starts playing, and out of nowhere you start dancing. Not in a goofy way, but in a way that shocks her, makes her question what she thought she knew about you. Her mind will race. Wait, wasn't he the strong, composed type? Why is he suddenly dancing? Who is this guy really? These are the exact thoughts you want her to have. The more she tries to figure you out, the more she thinks about you. And the more she thinks about you, the deeper the attraction grows. Here's why this works. Women are naturally drawn to strong men, but if you always act like you're trying to be the strong guy 100% of the time, it comes off as forced. Instead, balance it out. Show an unexpected side. Give her a glimpse of something different. This contrast creates mystery, and mystery is one of the most powerful forces of attraction. By the way, I'll be making an entire guide on how to use mystery to become irresistible, so keep an eye out for that. But for now, focus on incorporating contrast into your personality and watch how she starts seeing you in a whole new light. 2. The psychological trick that keeps you in her mind. All day, most men try too hard to impress a woman by talking about themselves. Big mistake. Instead, talk about someone else, but not just anyone. The key is to mention someone who looks completely different from her. For example, if the girl you're interested in has dark hair, casually mention a blonde woman. If she's blonde, mention a brunette. If she's short, bring up a tall woman, but do it naturally. Say something like, I used to work with this girl who had the most striking blonde hair. She was really good at what she did. Super impressive. Then, move on. Don't linger on the topic. Just let the seed take root in her mind. Now, here's what's going to happen. Women overthink everything. The moment she hears you mention a woman who looks different from her, her brain will start working overtime. Why did he mention a blonde? Does he prefer blondes? Am I not his type? Should I dye my hair lighter? That one casual sentence will make her think about you long after your conversation is over. And here's the beauty of it. The more she thinks about you, the more emotionally invested she becomes. She starts seeing you as a challenge, a mystery she wants to solve. And that, my friend, is the fastest way to make a woman develop feelings for you. 3. Why you should never be afraid to criticize her. Most men walk on eggshells around women, afraid to say anything that might upset them. But here's what you don't realize. Women are far more attracted to men who aren't afraid to set boundaries and call them out when necessary. For example, let's say you're with a woman and she lights up a cigarette. Instead of just tolerating it, look her in the eye and say, blow the smoke away from me. At first, she might be taken aback. She might even act a little offended. But deep down, she'll feel an immediate sense of respect for you. because you just did something most men are too afraid to do. The key is to strike the right balance. You shouldn't constantly criticize her, but when something doesn't sit right with you, say it with confidence. Here's the magic behind this approach. When you criticize a woman, your compliments become 10 times more powerful. Think about it. If you constantly tell her, "You're beautiful, you're amazing, you're perfect," she'll stop valuing your words. But if you occasionally call her out and then later give her a genuine compliment, she will crave your approval like never before. It's human nature. We value things that are rare. A compliment from a man who isn't afraid to be honest is worth infinitely more than empty flattery from a guy who's just trying to please her. 4. Subtly reminding her of what she lacks. This next strategy is deceptively simple but incredibly powerful. Let's say a woman you're interested in casually mentions that she doesn't know how to cook. File that information away. Later, in a completely different conversation, drop a subtle line like, "I really admire women who know how to cook." Then move on. Don't dwell on it. Don't make it obvious. Just let it sit. Now, watch what happens. When she goes home, she'll remember what you said. She'll think, "Wait, he admires women who can cook, but I can't cook. Does that mean I'm not his type? Should I learn how to cook?" And just like that, you've planted a thought in her mind that makes her want to improve herself for you. This is key. The more a woman feels like she has to earn your admiration, the more she'll be attracted to you. Mastering the art of attraction. How to make her see you as the ultimate prize. In part 1, we uncovered 4 psychological weaknesses that every woman has, and how to subtly leverage them to make her think about you, crave your attention, and feel an undeniable attraction toward you. Now let's take things to the next level. In this part, you'll discover how to make her feel emotionally attached to you, trigger deep psychological reactions that increase her attraction, ensure that she sees you as a rare, high-value man she doesn't want to lose. Let's dive in. 5. The power of sharing your weakness. First, most men are terrified of showing any kind of weakness. They think that if a woman sees their flaws, she'll lose attraction. But here's a little-known secret. If you own your weakness before she discovers it herself, you gain respect and admiration instead of losing it. For example, let's say you're not a great dancer. If you go to a club with a woman and suddenly start dancing, she'll immediately notice that you're bad at it. And in her mind, this becomes a flaw. But watch what happens when you take control of the narrative. Before you even step onto the dance floor, say something like, "I have to warn you, I'm probably the worst dancer you'll ever meet, but hey, at least I make up for it in other areas." What just happened? First, you've neutralized the flaw. Instead of her discovering it and judging you, you owned it with confidence. Second, you've added an element of humor and charm, making it impossible for her to criticize you. Third, you've subtly implied that you have other strengths, making her curious about what they are. This is the power of preemptively revealing your weaknesses. Instead of feeling embarrassed, you turn them into a sign of confidence, and confidence is irresistible to women. 6. The subconscious effect of making her take care of you. Here's something most men don't realize. Women have a deep natural instinct to nurture. It's part of their psychology. They feel a subconscious pull toward men who allow them to express their caring side. This is why, if you're ever sick or in need of something, asking her for help can actually make her feel more connected to you. For example, if you're not feeling well, instead of acting tough, say, "I feel awful today. Wish I had someone to bring me some medicine." If you need something small, ask her, "Hey, could you do me a favor?" Why does this work? Because when a woman does something for you, she feels more emotionally invested in you. It's not about being needy, it's about allowing her to play a role in your life. Bonus tip: when she helps you, show appreciation, but subtly. Don't overdo it. Just say something simple like, "I really appreciate that. Not every girl would do that." This makes her feel special, and the more special she feels around you, the stronger her attachment grows. 7. The losing control technique that makes her want you. More women are used to men trying to control their emotions around them. They expect guys to be overly calculated, always trying to say the right thing. But there's something that triggers a woman's emotions on a deep level, seeing a man momentarily lose control because of her. For example, if she does something unexpectedly cute, let out a genuine, "Damn, you just made me want to hug you right now." If she wears an outfit that makes her look stunning, give her a brief, intense look, then shake your head and say, "You're seriously dangerous in that dress." Why does this work? Because it makes her feel powerful, like she has the ability to break through your composed exterior. This subconsciously makes her crave your validation even more. But here's the key. Don't overuse this. Do it only in rare moments, so that when you do, it feels genuine and unexpected. 8. The one psychological weakness that keeps her hooked. Here's something most men completely overlook. Every woman has a deep-rooted need to impress the man she likes. This means that if you can subtly put her in a position where she feels like she has to earn your approval, she will instinctively work harder to get your attention. Here's how to do it. Let's say you casually mention that you love philosophy. Later ask her, "Do you like philosophy?" At this point, she has two options. If she says yes, it means she's trying to impress you, which means she's already interested in your opinion. If she says no, she will later overthink it. She'll wonder, does he think less of me now? Either way, she's emotionally engaged, which is exactly where you want her to be. Key rule: if she says no, don't try to convince her or change the subject to accommodate her. Just let it go. The uncertainty will make her think about you even more. 9. Setting boundaries that make her see you as high-value women. Respect men who set boundaries. They may test you at first, but deep down, they admire a man who stands his ground. For example, if you tell her, "I don't like being around people who smoke," and she pulls out a cigarette, walk away without saying anything. She will immediately start questioning herself. If you're planning a trip together, say, "I don't pay for girls, I split the cost 50-50. Then stick to that. Why does this work? Because it shows that you have self-respect. You're not afraid to lose her over your principles, and that makes you 10x more attractive in her eyes. The ultimate attraction hack: making her feel like you have options. Here's one of the most powerful attraction triggers of all: making her realize that she's not the only woman in your life. At some point, a woman will test you by asking, "Are you seeing someone else?" Most men panic and say, "No, I'm only focused on you." Wrong move. Instead, say something like, "I've got a few candidates shortlisted. Let's see who gets the job." This will trigger two powerful psychological reactions. Jealousy. She will work harder to win you over, even if she wasn't that interested before. Scarcity effect. She will subconsciously see you as a high-value man with options, making you instantly more desirable. At this point, you now understand how to tap into a woman's deepest psychological weaknesses to create attraction that feels effortless and natural. We've covered how to own your weaknesses before she can judge them, how to subtly make her take care of you without being needy, how to trigger deep emotions by losing control at the right moment, how to make her feel like she has to earn your attention, how to set boundaries that make her respect and chase you. But we're not done yet. There's even more to uncover. The deep psychology of attraction, how to make her feel emotionally addicted to you. In the previous sections, we explored powerful strategies that make a woman see you as high value, crave your validation, and feel an intense pull toward you. But now, we're going even deeper. In this section, you'll discover how to trigger an emotional roller coaster that makes her addicted to your presence. The fantasy gap technique that keeps her thinking about you constantly. Why unpredictability is the key to deep attraction. How to plant subconscious emotional hooks in her mind. Let's get started. 10. The emotional roller coaster. Why playing with contrast makes her addicted to you. If there's one thing that makes a woman emotionally addicted to a man, it's this: emotional highs and lows. Attraction is not built through comfort. It's built through contrast, tension, and release. This means that instead of always being nice and agreeable, you need to introduce moments of emotional contrast. where she feels like she has to earn back your warmth and affection. How to use this in conversation. Imagine you're texting a girl and she sends you something cute. Instead of just responding with, "Aw, that's sweet," say, "You're cute." But don't let it get to your head. "I still haven't decided if you're trouble or not." See what you did there? You gave her validation but then immediately pulled it back, creating a push-pull effect. Now, she's emotionally invested, wondering what you really think of her. She will work harder to get back on your good side, making her attraction grow even stronger. This technique works in any situation. You can be playful, teasing, or even a little distant at times, because when you bring the warmth back, it hits harder. The key is to never let the emotional state become too predictable. If she feels like she's on a constant journey of ups and downs with you, her brain will associate you with excitement and emotional intensity, which is what creates addiction. 11. The fantasy gap technique that makes her think about you constantly. One of the biggest psychological weaknesses women have is their overactive imagination. Women live inside their minds. They daydream, overthink, and create emotional fantasies about the people in their lives. And if you can deliberately leave gaps in their imagination, they will fill those gaps with thoughts of you. How to use this to your advantage. Let's say you're talking to a girl and she asks, "What kind of girls do you like?" Instead of giving a clear answer, say something like, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you. It's too dangerous." Now, watch what happens. She will desperately want to know, she'll press you for details, and even if you never fully answer, she will think about it later, trying to figure out what you meant. This is the fantasy gap, leaving something unsaid, unfinished, or mysterious, so that she is forced to keep thinking about you long after the conversation is over. You can apply this in many ways. When telling a story, leave out key details so that she asks more questions. If she asks about your past relationships, smile and say, "That's a long story. Maybe one day I'll tell you." When leaving a date, say, "There's something really interesting about you, but I can't figure out what it is yet." Her brain will obsess over filling in the blanks, keeping you at the center of her thoughts. At this point, you now have a master-level understanding of how to create deep attraction that keeps a woman emotionally hooked on you. We've covered how to create unforgettable moments that stay in her mind forever. The psychological principle that makes her invest in you emotionally, the power of disappearing and returning stronger. How to ensure she never loses interest, what you should do next. Now that you have this knowledge, the next step is applying it. Remember, attraction is built on emotion, contrast, and unpredictability. Never be too available. Let her feel your absence. Make sure she's investing in you so that her emotional attachment grows. Stay unpredictable so she's always excited to be around you. If you master these principles, you'll notice that women start chasing you instead of the other way around. This is the secret that most men will never understand. But now you do. Go out and apply it. Watch how women respond to you differently. And most importantly, enjoy the results.